Welcome to Financial Minds. As the U.S. Latino population continues to grow, so does the need for inclusive financial services and leadership that reflects the communities we serve. The National Association of Latino Credit Unions and Professionals is at the forefront of that mission. Joining me today is Barbara, the Executive Director of the National Association of Latino Credit Unions and Professionals. We'll talk about the organization's origin, its impact, and how credit unions of all sizes can better serve Latino communities and empower Latino professionals from within. Barbara, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell me just a little bit about yourself and your current role?
Yes, thank you so much, Jaime, for having me on this podcast. It's such an honor to be with you today. A little bit about myself. That one is a good question. I grew up in North Carolina, up here in the South, part of North Carolina, and I migrated to the United States when I was 6. So my story is very interesting. I grew up undocumented for a really long time until DACA became a thing. And when I got DACA, I was able to work finally. And started in the financial industry at 19. Luckily for me, I found credit unions very early on in my career. And ever since I started at the credit union here in North Carolina again, I have not looked back. I have loved this industry so much that I am currently getting my master's in cooperatives and credit unions. So I'm really excited for what this industry has to offer younger people. And so just really blessed to be here today. And my current role with NLCUP, I'm the executive director, and actually found this because when I was a crasher back in 2019, I had met who now is my board chair, Maria Martinez, who was one of the, few Latina CEOs in the industry. And we really connected, me being Latina, her being Latina. We have similar stories of migration and being in the US. And so when the opportunity presented itself, she reached out to me and was like, hey, are you interested in running NLCUP? And I mean, this is quite literally my dream job. I get to advocate for my community, and I also get to be part of an industry that I love so very much.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, thank you. I'm so glad you're here, and I love hearing your background, and congratulations on going to pursue your MBA. That is not an easy feat. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so much fun because I get to learn all about credit unions and cooperatives across the world. So I feel really lucky to have found that program.
All right. Well, for those that are unfamiliar, what is NLCUP and what is its mission within the credit union space? And am I even saying that properly? Because that's the abbreviation.
Yes, you are. And for those that don't know, it's the National Latino Association of Credit Union and Professionals. It's actually started 20 plus years ago by the founders, kind of a place that, they felt very lonely and they didn't feel seen in the industry. It's like, let's start something for Latinos. And it was volunteer ran for almost 20 years. Since I came on board, and now we have 4 full-time staff members. So we've been growing really fast, thanks to the support of all of the people out there in the industry. But our mission really is to empower Latinos in the credit union industry and ensuring that there's equal representation across boards and the C-suite and such, so that Latino communities in the U.S. Are better served by credit unions.
All right. Well, you said it was formed 20 years ago. So, you're kind of giving me the when, but why was NLCUP founded? And who were the original people that founded it, if you have that history?
Yeah. So there's several people, and I know I might miss them, but Maria Martinez, who's still my chair, which is such an amazing experience to be able to be led by the board that was the founding members as well. So Maria Martinez, Pablo De Filippi, Carlos Calderon, Carla Decker, Luis Pastor, just to name a few. There's so many of them that did played a big role in the foundation of NLCUP, but those folks are the ones that continue to carry the mission forward. And, they were coming together at a conference here. It's so funny because, I live in North Carolina, and NLCUP 20 years ago, which I was like probably in third, fourth grade. At the time of the founding, they came together at a conference here in North Carolina. They're like, we should form something for Latinos because if we feel lonely, we can't imagine the people that really have nobody in the industry. And so that's essentially, a group of friends, a group of folks that knew each other in the industry, decided to take a leap of faith and form this group for Latinos. And it's the story goes that it was very small. It started with a networking reception at GAC, who now has become a staple event at the GAC. And then they hired before me. They hired a part-time executive director, and Diana Hastings is her name. She laid the foundation of like, how can this nonprofit run, right? And then Diana obviously wanted to move forward with her career. And that's when I was brought in and they hired me, and that was such a huge leap of faith because they didn't have a lot of funding. But thankfully it's been able to be, it worked out. And now here we are, like growing the association. I'm proud to say that we have over 130 credit union members who really believe in our mission and they really believe in their employees because they know that their employees they need a resource like NLCUP, to continue their careers in the credit union industry.
Yeah, like with everything in the credit union industry, really that grassroots of that group coming together. I knew some of those names that you mentioned there, Carla, Carlos. That's amazing that's how they came together, at a conference. And what are some of the biggest challenges Latino communities face when it comes to financial access and inclusion?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of misconceptions around lending to Latinos, especially the undocumented community. They think that because, people don't have documentation, maybe they are more risk to lend to, etc. But we have found that credit unions who are doing that sort of work, who are doing I-10 lending, for example, have a higher payment ratio. So a great example of that is Latino community here in North Carolina again. They have a 98%, probably higher. Last time I checked, it was 98% repayment period. So that means 98% of their members pay their loans back on time. And so there's not a lot of, when people think of this community is like risk, risk, risk. But when you look at the examples of credit unions already doing that, it's actually the opposite. So that's a misconception. And that is the gap that NLCUP tries to fill as well, is educating credit union CEOs and people that are making decisions for credit unions that, look, this is a great community to serve. Not only do they pay well, you can grow your market because Latinos are the fastest growing population in the US. So one of the things that I often tell credit unions is, if you service my parents, then I'm most likely going to be a loyal customer to you or a member because you're taking care of my family. And so we're very communal. And so Latinos are the perfect market for credit unions because credit union was founded on the principles of people helping people. And that's typically how we operate culturally. So, credit unions are the perfect place to be a member of and put your finances there. So there's that misconception. And then the other misconception is that they think that all Latinos are undocumented. And that's just simply not true. A lot of us do have documentation. We just want products that cater to the nuances of being a Latino. For example, a lot of younger, like folks my age, will buy houses for their parents because that's just something that is a culturally right thing to do for our parents. And so we want credit unions to be able to say, yeah, you already have a mortgage. Well, maybe you can also have another mortgage because I know your parents are also contributing to that payment. So it's a little bit of thinking outside the box of the lending perspective, and more so saying like, okay, I know that this group of folks are very communal. Can we start accepting not only my credit, my payment history, etc., but how could we integrate other family members in that same loan so that it's a holistic view, and so those are some of the things that come to mind. Of course, there's many more, but those are some of the few things that come to mind.
Okay, so how does then NLCUP work to address those challenges or those misconceptions, through credit unions?
So, we're very grassroots still. Like I've only been in the role for 3 years, so there's a lot of work to still be done. But some of the things that I have been able to do in my 3 years at NLCUP is education. Really painting the picture for folks. When I'm invited to speak, like today, just really giving you all the information that hey, like there's you can look at this community through a new lens by listening to our stories and knowing the data that's out there to support that Latinos, pay their loans and they pay them really well, that they have multiple incomes in one household, that contribute to the financial success of that family unit. So like I'm out of my house. Like I have not lived with my parents since I was like 19, but I actively contribute to their home because, that's how we're raised and that's a lot of Latino families operate that way and in that sense. So a lot of it has been educating, Jamie. It's simple and it's telling your story, but that resonates with a lot of people and they're like, huh, I've never thought about it that way. And so we really want to bridge that gap through education, but then we are working on key programs that is actually formalized training for credit unions to come and learn about that. Last year, for example, we did the first ever in the credit union industry I-10 workshop. And then in that I-10 lending workshop, we had over 45 participants from across the country that came to learn, like, how do we really service the Latino community and how do we really implement those programs at our own credit unions? And that was very successful. And we hope to continue doing that work.
Okay. So does then LCUP offer training and leadership development specifically for Latino professionals in the credit union industry? And if so, what types of programs or resources, support, does LCUP offer to its members?
Yeah, that's a great question. We do. So in 2025, we said we have to have strong programs for our members to come and, really see the value of NLCUP. And so we developed 6 different programs.
Okay.
We have a culturally relevant mentorship program. We have a board governance ready program where we teach credit union professionals how to serve on boards. It's their first time. A lot of us Latinos in the credit union industry tend to be first generation folks. And so we really need to learn how to serve on boards to be better equipped to help whatever organization we're serving make decisions. And so we said we really need a board governance program. And that was super, super successful. We have another program called Ejecutivos in the Making. And this is for your VPs, people that are ready to take the next step. And we bring educational seminars to that. And they get to job shadow a CEO or like a C-suite folks in person. So that was an amazing program as well that we successfully ran this year. We have a Mujeres Forward program catered just to Latina women so that they can get the skills necessary to speak up and advocate for themselves. Because, sometimes as women, Jamie, you're also a woman, we tend to not do that. And that's even more exasperated in Latina women just because of how we're raised and how we grew up. So those are some of the programs that we have, but I know that your members might want to be interested in learning more of these programs, and they can always visit the website under programs and they should be able to find the application details, everything that we have going on there. So those are some of the programs that we're really proud of, and we hope to bring 3 more new programs next year. So more to come.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So then how then are you also then helping the credit union itself better serve the Latino communities, in the cultural relevant ways that they need to be served?
So I love this question so much because I always advocate when your Latino employees are taken care of, they will take care of your members.
Mhm.
And NLCUP is here to take care of your Latino employees. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to come up with your own programs like your credit union. You simply can sign up to be a member of NLCUP. And then we take care of your employees for you in that area. And so we have found that when credit unions are highly engaged with NLCUP and they have many Latino employees, the commitment that credit union professional has to that credit union exasperates because now they feel seen. Now they feel like they have a place that they can go to for resources that are catered to their culture. And so that is one aspect of it. And then the second aspect, I come back to education. When the C-suite or folks that are making decisions, your board members at the credit union are educated or learn more about the things that we're saying at NLCUP and, attend the webinars, attend the meetings, attend the workshops, attend the conference, they understand little by little how this community wants to be served, and then the gap starts to close and they're not only in their minds, it's a mind shift, but also at the credit union level. They're like, okay, like there's this community of folks that want to have a credit union. How can we get there, and so that they come to NLCUP. And I think that is such a beautiful and such a powerful story to be able to say the founding members of NLCUP are the Latino leaders in the credit union industry. So, but what best way to, come learn if it's not from the people that have been doing this for years? And so I think I'm in the, again, Jaime, like I feel like you know how passionate I am about this work, but I just feel so very blessed to be able to learn from like the folks that have been building this foundation for so many years, and then the credit unions that are connected to NLCUP now get to learn from these folks, and it's just a full circle.
Yeah. So for those credit unions out there and they're wondering, how can I partner or support NLCUP's mission? What should they do?
Well, there's several ways. It's not always monetary. It's always, you can come at 10-hour events. You can come at 10-hour workshops. You can sign up to volunteer your time, because that mentorship program, Jaime, it went from 12 people signing up to now we have 65 people consistently signing up. So the need for mentorship from the Latino community is there. And so if you can sign up to be a mentor, our cohort is opening up here soon for the spring cohort of 2026. Volunteering your time, and right now I have a very direct ask for the community. Sign up for our conference. We really need the support. We really need folks to come and attend and learn how to serve the Latino community. I think especially this year, we really need to rethink how we're serving Latinos in this turbulent time for us. And so we want credit unions to be there so that they learn ways of supporting the Latino community. So I would say that in this moment, if you're able to come to our conference, please. Now, larger and more sustainable way is to become a member. We are such a grassroots oriented organization that your membership goes such a long way. So we really need members. We really need you to be committed to becoming a member and being a long-term member of NLCUP. And I would say our dues are very modest, and we make it attainable for every credit union to be a member of NLCUP, whether you're a very small credit union or a very large. I think the membership pricing is very modest, and they can check out the website for that. I'm sure you'll probably provide them a link for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, what about the individual? So how can someone or myself, for example, can get involved with NLCUP either as a professional or as a partner or as an ally?
Yeah. And I'm so glad you're mentioning allyship, because NLCUP would not be what it is today without allies. And I will say that so loud for the folks in the back so that they can hear us. We cannot move forward in the work that we do without allyship. We know that we need people like you to be able to advance our mission. And so we really encourage allyship when it comes to volunteering your time, showing up for us in different ways of, again, in the events that we do, that we host. But we also do have individual memberships. So say your organization is just not ready to take that leap of faith yet with us, you can, we are not preventing individual folks from becoming a member. And individual folks can also it's as simple as maybe following us on LinkedIn, and resharing a post. Like that really does go a long way for us. I mean, again, we're a grassroots organization, so every little interaction that we get helps us grow and helps us spread the word about NLCUP. So, those are the few things that I can think of.
Okay. Well, I know you're very passionate about your education, so I want to give you the opportunity. Tell me about your upcoming initiatives and your events so our listeners can learn more.
Yeah, so I mean, we're closing the year. All of our programs are done for the year of 2025, but we start the year out very strong with our Latino conference in Long Beach, California. It's coming up from February 1st through the 5th. We would love to see everyone there. We would love to have support. We would love to have vendors come to be exhibitors. So anything you can do to support that conference, we want to see that, we want to see the support there. And I think the conference is phenomenal. It's all Latino things. You get to learn like about our culture. You get to try our foods. It's just an amazing, event. And then you get to learn how to service the Latino community and how to service your Latino employees as well. And then lastly, we're gonna have three brand new programs next year, and one of those that I haven't said out loud, but I'll give you the space, Jamie, to promote this one is we are going to come up with a program that's culturally sensitive for board members. So sometimes CEOs will tell me I'm committed, but I don't know how to get my board to commit, you know? And so we're like, we need to bridge that gap. We really do. So send your board members to this training. We want to see them there so that we know that a lot of decisions that comes, especially for marginalized communities, starts at the board table. And we want to make sure that those board members are educated and can consider Latino communities when it comes to the decisions they're making for the credit union. So support those programs. Again, the mentorship program is also rolling out in January. Sign up to be a volunteer. And so just continue supporting us. And at the very least, follow us on LinkedIn. I think that's, we love seeing the interactions in LinkedIn. So if the least you can do next year is give us a like, please do.
All right. Well, I will double check to make sure that I am following you on LinkedIn. I think I am, but I will just double check as soon as we're done here. So for our listeners that want to get more information on LCUP, where should they go?
www.nlcup.org. We have everything on the website. Everything that I've just talked about, you literally can navigate it through the website and you'll find more. You'll find more. So yeah, that's the one resource that I think will help you understand what we're doing here at NLCUP.
All right. Barbara, thank you so much for joining me today. I love your passion. I love your excitement, your energy. And I wish you all the best with what you and the team are trying to accomplish there. And also, I want to thank everyone that's listening today. I hope you're walking away with a deeper understanding of why representation and intentional outreach matters and how credit unions can play a pivotal role in bridging financial gaps in Latino communities. A big thank you also to LCUP for their leadership in this space. Also, a special thanks to Viso Financial's Education Rewards Program for sponsoring this episode. Education means growth as well as rewards. Expand your knowledge with Viso Financial's conferences, workshops, and webinars, and earn rewards for you as well as your credit union. How does it work? Attend and participate in the webinars and events that Viso Financial holds throughout the year. We'll track all the points for you and your credit union so that you can earn prizes. For more details on the rules and prizes, visit our website at www.vfccu.org. Thanks for listening to Financial Minds. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe and share it with a colleague. Until next time, stay connected, stay inclusive, and keep moving the mission forward. Thank you and make it a great day.
Thank you, Jamie.